Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new episode of the Tea Break. I'm Varun, and this is where we talk about most things cricket. Today, we're going to talk about day three of the test match between India and England. This is the second test of the four-match series, and a lot of discussion again yesterday on social media about the pitch. There were basically two camps, one saying that this is a really horrible pitch and that India should be docked points from the World Test Championship for creating this pitch. Let me tell you what happened today on this pitch, or let me tell you what happened in this test match on this pitch. There's been one batsman who scored a 150. There's been one who scored a century today, and we'll talk about that. There have been three others who've scored half centuries. There's been a number 11 who's probably faced 20 balls in his whole life, danced down the track and smacked two sixes. And there's been Dan Lawrence from the England side who's probably bowled 5 overs in his whole life, who's turning the ball square. So overall, it's a great pitch for everyone, and the contest is great between bat and ball. Slightly more tilted towards the ball, but that's the nature of this wicket, and people have to accept that, appreciate that, and enjoy it, and not criticize it because one team is losing and the other team is winning. So, just to all these people who have been criticizing this pitch since day one, go fly a kite. You guys are talking nonsense. Let's move on then to actually what happened during the day. The first 1 hour was completely manic. I think it belonged to the wicketkeeper of England, Folks. He's done tremendously well behind the stumps, and he was pretty much responsible for 2 wickets out of the first 3 that fell. Pujara, unfortunate run continues with that crazy run out where his bat got stuck in the wicket. But then the next 2 stumpings, especially Rohit Sharma's stumping, was phenomenal by Ben Folks. Really fast hands. People sitting in the stands in Chennai would be thinking of MS Dhoni because that was a tribute to him. Both those stumpings of Rishabh Pant and of Rohit Sharma. So the first 1 hour belonged to England, belonged to Folks, and then everyone thought, you know what, this can get over quite quickly, and England can be with a sniff here if they get India all out for 300. Even though the runs seem a lot, they still might be in with a chance. But then that was completely negated by a wonderful, wonderful partnership between Virat Kohli and Ravi Ashwin. You could see Virat Kohli was just putting up a batting masterclass on how to play spin bowling on a turning wicket. Yes, the bowlers were very inconsistent. Both Moeen Ali and Jack Leach were bowling some deliveries that were great, turning square of the surface at good speed. And then there was always a ball in the over that was a freebie, like a four run ball, which was not ideal for England. But then Virat Kohli is just too good at during that period to actually capitalize on those balls and score the runs that were needed. At the other end was the homeboy Ashwin, who was also batting beautifully. He took a few chances initially, and then once he settled down, he realized, okay, which shots can you play, which you cannot, and he was just focused purely on that. And initially, it looked like, okay, these guys will continue for a bit and then obviously get out to a good ball, and then that'll be the end of the innings. But Ashwin just kept batting and batting and batting. Virat got out deep in the crease, another umpire's call, which is fine because that also looked out because he was deep within the crease playing off the back foot. And then Ashwin just continued on his merry way. He was stroking lovely boundaries, using the sweep shot, using the reverse sweep, and playing pretty well. But once he reached to that 70 mark, I personally thought that's it because he was playing with Kuldeep, Ishant, and then Siraj, and like I mentioned in my last video, none of them can really bat. So I thought poor guy will be left stranded. But with a few missed chances by England, let's not forget that they did drop Ashwin twice, and then Kuldeep hanging around for a bit, Ishant hanging around for a bit, and then Siraj just absolutely brilliant. The way he hung around and the way Chennai crowd was applauding each and every defensive stroke that he was playing. And then finally Ashwin got his 100, which was a great moment where he celebrated. But also, if you see the way Siraj celebrated, it I think just shows Tim Payne that maybe people do like Ashwin in the team as well. So I think overall a fantastic batting performance by India. They've scored more than 600 runs on this horrible track. So tremendous batting performance. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed watching it. What I also really enjoyed when England came out to bat was again something I've been saying over my last three videos, that they need to be more positive and forget about the pitch, and that's what they were doing. They started positively. They were using their feet, scoring boundaries. Dan Lawrence looks really good and comfortable at the crease so far. Rory Burns is just fails to impress, to be honest. He does score well when he looks to score, but you always think that he's going to get out pretty soon. What I didn't like, however, was sending in a number 11 to protect your best batsman. I mean, okay, I understand the concept of a night watchman in the old times when it was sort of norm that all the senior batsmen need to be protected, but I think nowadays the best batsmen need to come out and need to play and show the opposition that they're not afraid. They're not afraid of getting out. Ultimately, Joe Root had to come out. He was plumb in front. I thought, again, a howler by the umpires. They've had a bad test match. Let's face it. The umpires haven't been particularly good, and this umpire's call was quite a joke, to be honest. So Root was clearly out. Overall, again, completely India's day, dominating performance. England again tomorrow have to come out and try and be positive. I think the match is already gone. It's far gone away from them. They are going to lose this game, but they need to land a few punches before the next test match begins. From India's side, I doubt Kuldeep will again get too much of a bowl, purely because the speed at which Akshar and Ashwin are bowling are just too dangerous. I think they'll wrap this up pretty quickly. I think Kuldeep will have to wait for a while to actually get a ball. Siraj might get one before him if the ball becomes slightly old, but poor guy will, I think, have to wait till test number 4 to actually get a proper crack at it. However, I still think overall the day was a good contest between bat and ball. Like I said, in summary, England bowlers just not that good in terms of skill level to actually capitalize on this wicket. And anyone who still thinks that the pitch is bad is probably watching a different game of cricket. So let's talk tomorrow again after this game is over. Hopefully it's going to be over pretty soon, and I get a couple of days break from waking up at 3:45 a.m. Although I've enjoyed every minute of it. Talk to you tomorrow.